Hello, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans, and welcome here to Brunswick High School territory, where your Red Raiders, out here in their all black uniforms except for the gray pants, are going to be taking on another GCC rival in the Brunswick Blue Devils. Now, the Blue Devils enter into today 10-3. Shaker 7-7. They just got back to the 500 mark, and that includes the San Diego tournament. So they're actually 6-4 in the state of Ohio after their 4 straight wins, including that big victory against Normandy just on Saturday. There were rough conditions. They were down 7-0 in the very beginning of the ball game, but they came back and won it in 9 innings, 2 extra innings to get that one. We have the national anthem. We'll take a minute. And after the Anthem of the Nation, we are set for some good old Northeast Ohio GCC baseball. Now, Shaker so far 3-1 in the Greater Cleveland Conference, that new conference last year. They were in the Lake Erie League, going completely undefeated. Already, that's not the case for Shaker as they split that series against Menor, but they did sweep Euclid in some very defining moments. It was very lopsided over to the Shaker side, and so they were able to take those victories. For Shaker, leading it off, it's going to be Cole Klein, number 3. Behind him, Quentin Garnett and Will Tagan. On the mound for Shaker, it's going to be Casey Robinson, the man going up against him. Standing right behind me, taking his warm-up pitches, is going to be Brady Rice. Now, those schools met last year, and Brady Rice did pitch against Shaker in that same game. We'll tell you more about that as the game goes on, but Brady Rice is already a baseball commit, and here he is trying to lay the heat on Shaker once again. We'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call once again on the road. Just about 45-minute bus ride over here into Brunswick, Ohio. Thanks for joining. I'll be here for the call all game long. Again, it's going to be Cole Klein leading us off here today. He's been a little all over the place in the batting order. He's wearing number 3 on the back of that black jersey. Again, Shaker got those all-new jerseys. The red jerseys are the home jerseys. The black jerseys are the away jerseys. So, of course, on the road, here's Shaker in the black uniform. So, here comes Cole Klein into the left-handed batter's box. The pitcher, a righty, Brady Rice, again, that pitcher here today. He's committed to Walsh University for baseball, and you very well might see why with his performance here today. Brady Rice wearing number 12 on the back of the powder blue jersey. The Blue Devils is the name of this Brunswick squad. And this first one in there for strike number 1. So that's always a good thing to see. You want to take that first pitch against a pitcher as highly praised as this Rice. And now here's the next kick, and the speedy offering fouled over to the left side. Now, contact is good early, and the reason being, last year when these two schools met, only 2 hits for Shaker Heights, and those 2 hits came from the current seniors of Quentin Garnett and Will Berglund. They were both juniors last year when they did get those hits. So Cole Klein now stands in with an 0-2 count. after taking strike one and fouling that last pitch off. And now here's the next offering, just upstairs. Thing about Cole Klein, he's got a smaller strike zone, and it's due to that size. However, it'll make him very efficient in the ABs. It's like that kind of advantage that Jose Altuve has. So if they want to lay a pitch in there, just like that one there, typically it's a good one to hit. However, Cole Klein right there didn't pull the trigger. There is strike three, and he is victim number one of the top of the first. So that's going to bring in Quentin Garnett. As mentioned, he got one of those 2 hits for Shaker last year against this Brunswick squad. And here's the first pitch to today's catcher. This one fouled back over the netting and over those stands. Behind home plate, you're going to get 2 practice fields. One is just a practice field, field 3, and then the other is going to be where the band practices for all those football games. Behind those fields, actually, you're going to find the softball field, Heron Park, which was just recently placed. There's a swing and miss from Quentin Garnett. He's tagged off the third strike. There is strikeout number 2 already. 2 up, 2 down for the Red Raiders. And Brady Rice already off to a good start on the mound. That game, April 8th, 2023, Brunswick getting the victory 5-0 was your final here at home. Of course, tomorrow, Shaker taking on Brunswick once again. That's going to be in Shaker territory. Now we're going to get time called. Rice up to 7 pitches, so quickly he's efficient with the count. And first pitch cut on. This one sent into center, and that's ranging back. However, the center field is, the center fielder is 2, and Brown makes the grab for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down go the Red Raiders, and that's going to bring Casey Robinson, the sophomore, to the bump. We'll tell you more about him when we come back for the call of the bottom of the first. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum here from Brunswick. I'll be here for the call. And Casey Robinson, your starting pitcher for Shaker Heights, entering in with a 3.9 ERA, which is not too shabby for high school. However, it should be much better. It was just like almost all the pitchers in the rotation. They all suffered in that loss to North Royalton. They lost that game by 22 runs. 28-6 was the final. First pitch in there for strike 1. Casey Robinson, in his last outing, had a very good game. It was against Menor. Only gave up 3 runs in that affair. I think he went 6 innings in that one. That one off the mark. But against Menor, he actually went 5 innings. That one, once again, off the mark. He was technically the losing pitcher, but He is currently, for the Red Raiders, the number one guy in the rotation. That one in there. That's strike two. 2-2 the count. Nobody out as we're just getting set here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the kick, the pitch. This one cut on, sent into center field. Will Tagan getting in front of him. However, it's going to just drop in front of him for a leadoff single. So, a quickly efficient start for the Blue Devils. However, nothing that Casey Robinson cannot work out of. This is going to bring Brown to the plate. Brown wearing wearing number 1 on the back of that powder blue jersey. Here's the kick, the pitch, off the mark. Casey Robinson threw the first 6 of his pitches, splitting each 3 balls, 3 strikes. Carbone leading off of first. That next one missing the mark again. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Last year when these two schools met, it was Thomas Barrett on the bump for Shaker, and he also had a very good appearance for them there. This one popped up. This is going to go into center field. This time it'll be a routine grab for Will Tagan, making the catch, sends it back in. That's out number 1. So Carbone still over at first. And now we'll see. Udis, the batter. Double play opportunity for Shaker if they want to get this inning ended early. That one in there for strike 1. Good pitch location from Robinson. Man on first, 1 out. This one sent over, and Kranz, unfortunately, not able to make the play. It just slips right between Brett Moore and Malachi Kranz, and so that's going to be base runner number 2. Runner on first, runner on second. And that's going to bring up the next batter, Bogan. Bogan in the 4 spot. Casey Robinson already up to 10 pitches. We'll see if he can slow this one down. First pitch of the new AB, off the mark, ball 1. The defensive lineup here today for Shaker, from left to right out in the outfield, is Klein, Tagan, and Landever. That one in there for strike. That's going to even up our count 1-1 with 1 away. Runner on first, runner on second, 1 out. This one popped into right field. Nate Landever trying to get there, but it's going to drop down fair as he tried to make the diving catch. They hold off the man at third, and that's going to be bases loaded now with only 1 out. Now it's going to be O'Malley, the batter. Big RBI opportunity for him with only 1 out and the bases loaded. Casey Robinson needing to slow it down, off to a very tense beginning to the game. But with the kick and pitch from the lefty, it's going to miss the mark. That's the number 1 thing you don't want to do. You don't want to walk a runner in. We've seen it in high school ball. It's not the most uncommon thing, but we know Casey Robinson is not that kind of pitcher. This next one, upstairs, ball 2. 2-0 the count. You know O'Malley is going to sit patiently, more than likely until he gets a strike. Here's the next one. That one's in there. Strike 1 to O'Malley. 2-1 the count with only 1 out and the bases loaded. It's Bogan off of first, it's Udis off of second, and it's Carbone off of third. The kick and the pitch. This one cut on and missed. 2-2 the count. We're now worked to even. 0-0 your score. We're just getting set here. However, already a very interesting position for Casey Robinson to try and deal with. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Bases are loaded for O'Malley. And now here's the next offering. There's strike 3 with authority. The umpire gives him the call. And there is out number 2. Big strikeout for Casey Robinson, and that's going to be the second out, and that makes bases loaded a lot less intimidating if you're the man on the mound. Here's the kick and the pitch. That one in there for strike 1. Brunswick fans already vocal about this umpire so far. Not very happy about that last strike 3 call. Again, bases loaded. Now it's an 0-1 count. The next pitch, this one grounded. It'll get over the shoulder of Casey Robinson. The flip from O'Shea Howard to Brett Moore. They're going to get the force out over at second. And there is out number 3. So early in the game, Casey Robinson works his way into a jam. However, he's able to work out of it. It was bases loaded with 1 out. However, they leave all men on. And now 3 outs. We're through 1 inning. 0-0 is your score. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. Returning to the mound is going to be Brady Rice. And let's see, due up, it's going to be Berglund, Landrum, and Landever. We'll tell you more about it when we come back. So due up here for the top of the second is going to be Will Berglund, number 19. Again, he was the other half of the hits for Shaker in that game last year against Brunswick. Again, only 2 hits, 1 from Garnett, 1 from Berglund. Brady Rice, the pitcher, number 12. And as pointed out to me by actually one of the Shaker fans here, he's got something in his right nostril. Not sure what it is. Maybe it's a bloody nose that he just had to deal with, because you obviously don't want to take out a pitcher for a bloody nose. However, he's got something up in that right nostril. So not exactly sure, but there you go. Next pitch upstairs. 1-1 the count to Will Berglund, the senior, number 19. Got a couple of home runs on the year already. We'll see if he has the energy to do so again here in Brunswick, Ohio. The 1-1 offering, cut on, missed. He was looking to do so with a swing like that. So now 1-2 is your count. No outs. In that first inning, a pair of strikeouts and 1 flyout from Will Tate. The 1-2. And there's strike 3. Taken by Will Berglund. It's going to be ruled inside of the rectangle, and there you go. There's out number 1. So Brady Rice, even though it may be a bloody nose for him, he's still pitching with efficiency. That's going to bring C.J. Landrum to the plate. Already 3 Ks for Rice. And hopefully this is just something that'll be fixed with 1 time through the order. There's a swing and miss for strike 1. Hopefully they'll be able to pick it up. After seeing him 1 time in an AB, you're normally able to sit back, and now that you know what he's going to throw to you, or at least how he's going to throw it, you just have a little bit more confidence in an at-bat. That one in tight and up high. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Brady Rice representing Brunswick here today. And that one in tight once again. The current batting average against for Brunswick is .221, which isn't exactly good for Shaker's offense, considering their batting average is only .217. Here's the kick in the pitch. Cut on, missed for a 2-2 count. Only 1 out. C.J. Landrum not trying to be strikeout victim number 4 already through the first 5 guys. Here's the 2-2. Cut on, miss. There you go. Strikeout number 4 already for Brady Rice. And that'll bring the sophomore to the dish. Nate Landever today in right field. You're typically going to find him out in left. But today, Just a different kind of story. As you're getting Cole Klein out in left, of course, Tegan out in center field. No one's really taken that from him. And then, yes, as mentioned, Landever is the right fielder in today's game. That first one cut on missed from Nate Landever. Brady Rice so far, 18 pitches, 14 strikes. So he's really coming after these pitchers well. This next one popped up, and it's going to get down foul behind us. Andrew Fogarty going to be the man to track it down out in that field behind us. Here's the 0-2. Off the mark. Tried to get him to chase with a pitch outside. Nate Lander said no can do. He takes for a 1-2 count now. 2 away. And Brady Rice 1 pitch away from striking out the side. Here it comes upstairs. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a lot of 2s up on the scoreboard. However, it's a 0-0 affair. Here's the kick and the pitch. This one's sent up. This is going to be popped over into shallow left field. Getting under it is the left fielder making the grab for out number 3 of the top of the second. So both innings go the exact same way for Shaker's offense. It's 2 strikeouts and then 1 flyout. And so hopefully Shaker can change that narrative with the bottom of the order when we come back to the top of the third. However, we got to get there first. Casey Robinson back on the mound, worked himself into a jam but got out of it in the bottom of the first. We'll tell you more about that when we come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum with the call. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second inning. First pitch of a new inning. Casey Robinson looked in tight, but he'll get the strike call. There's an 0-1 count to begin the inning. Here we are for the bottom of the second. Casey Robinson in that first inning. Here he's going to reset himself. In that first inning, this one popped foul over to the right side. So Andrew Fogarty already having a rough time finding one baseball that went foul. Now he might need to track down another, but here comes Nemo Crosby to help him out as well. Here's the 0-2, and that one in tight and down low. As mentioned, Casey Robinson, he worked the bases loaded with only 1 out. However, Shaker was able to get out of it with a big strikeout. This one popped up, and this is going to make its way into shallow right field. Nate Landever ranges over to his right as well, and that's going to be out number 1. Now we got 4 guys out trying to track down 1 baseball back here. Really a rather comical scene back there. You have 2 Shaker baseball players and 2 fans. I also went back there during the break to try and find 1 little dot of white across the grass, and now it looks like they found it. Good stuff. That first one off the mark, ball 1. And now that next one upstairs as well. So 2-0 the count. The good thing about Casey Robinson is, unlike a lot of high school pitchers, when you work a count to 2 balls and 0 strikes after 2 back-to-back balls to open up an AB, he doesn't play it like he's nervous about it at all. He'll do exactly what you just saw there. He'll keep trying to find the strike zone, and there he does. He has good control over his pitch location, as you saw there. That next one, this one line into left field. That's going to get down in between Will Tagan and Cole Klein. That's going to be a double unless they are going to try to make it a triple. They will not, and that is a big double for Adams, the batter. Connor Adams, the catcher, getting a big one-out double to become the first runner in scoring position of this second inning. Shaker wasn't able to get any on their respective side. So one man out, one man on in scoring position. That first pitch right down Main Street for strike number one. Robinson already with his 30th pitch, making its way now. And this one in tight for ball one. 1-1 the count, one away. Hubble, the batter. He's the last guy in the order. He's the left fielder that made that shallow left field catch to end the top of the second. That one in there for strike two. One strike away from once again getting a big strikeout when he needs it. But this one's sent right over the head of Brett Moore. It's going to be Cole Klein getting there, but they're going to hold off the runner at third. And so it's going to be runners now at the corners with still only one away. Now this is where you're going to really need the strikeout. You got runner at first in the form of Hubble. You got the runner at third in the form of Adams. And now up to the plate is going to be the top of the order, number 2, Carbone. He's already 1 for 1. Looking to make it 2 for 2 with an RBI knock here. And first pitch off the mark, down low and away. And now here's the next offering upstairs. 2-0 the count. The Brunswick Blue Devils 10-3, looking to get a good lead here early to try and extend that win streak. This one caught by Will Tagan. Tagging is the third baseman, and Berglund didn't make the throw from the infield. Maybe if it wasn't cut off, maybe it could have beat him there. However, the tagging run will come in to score, and Brunswick leads this one 1-0 now. So now runners at first. Runners at first and only first. Now he's gonna, that umpire going to grab that brush out of the right chest pocket, clearing home plate for the next batter up. 1-0 now your score. The new batter, the center fielder Brown. He's 0 for 1 on the day. 1-0 now your score. Brunswick leading here at their home territory. Here's the kick of the pitch. In there for strike one. Good pitch from Casey Robinson in a new AB. So with a 1-0 score off of 5 hits, that is a good hit-to-run ratio. That one also in there for strike two. Brown yet to pull the trigger. We'll see if he does here, as now he's got to protect. We'll see what Robinson decides to do, or I suppose the coach decides to do. This one's sent in to left center. Is that one going to get down? Indeed it will. Big knock-in. It looks like they're going around third. Here comes the second run, but the throw! And he is safe at home, and that's going to be a huge RBI double for that second run. And there you go, a 2-run bottom of the second now for the Blue Devils. Now it's just Casey Robinson needing to slow it down. Runner is on second with 2 away. We'll see what happens next. Here's the kick and the pitch from the sophomore. This one popped foul over to the left side. (0-1) the count. The runner Brown really bouncing from left to right over off of second. But now he's going to go right back. That one called strike two. 1 strike away from at least stopping the bleeding a little bit here. Udis, the batter, 1 for 1 already. This one popped foul over behind home plate and a little over to the right side. Again, over to each to the side of each of the baselines, you're going to get those fields. Then, if you go outside of the home run fence in right, you're going to get the actual high school itself. Then, to the left, past that home run fence, you're going to get Plum Creek. This one also fouled away. You're going to get Plum Creek that actually runs all the way to Lake Brunswick. Now, it's not like a grand lake, that Lake Brunswick, but it's just about, if you go all the way past center field, that one also fouled over the right side. That's where you're going to find Lake Brunswick. You just got to go, I believe, just a few miles that way. It's not that far away, but there's Plum Creek for you. So we're still stuck at a no ball, two strike count with two away and a runner on second. There's been nothing so far. Here's the kick and the pitch. That one's in there. Strike three. Good pitch location that time for Casey Robinson to get out of another jam like that. However, 2 runs did come across, so now Shaker's offense has to do a little bit of catch-up. It's the 7 and 8 and 9 guys due up for Shaker now, and that's going to be Brett Moore, O'Shea Howard, and Malachi Kranz, the 3 infielders for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call from Brunswick, Ohio. Let's see what the bottom of the order can do when we come back. Here's the shortstop in today's game, Brett Moore, to lead us off in the bottom, or excuse me, in the top of the new third inning. Brett Moore, we've seen him in the leadoff spot a little bit throughout the season. We've also seen the next guy in the on-deck circle. That's a very late swing from Brett Moore for strike one. We've also seen the guy in the on-deck circle, O'Shea Howard, in that leadoff spot a lot lately, but neither of them in the leadoff spot this time around. Brett Moore sends this one up to the shortstop. Can he beat it out? It doesn't look like he will. There's out number one on a routine ground out from the shortstop. Good handling that time by the man over there. Took an awkward bounce up into the chest last second. But there you go. Udis throws him out all the way from short. That's going to bring O'Shea Howard to the plate. He's been batting much better over the past couple of games, batting .233 now, which is a major improvement from where it was about a week ago. Howard, the second baseman in today's game, first pitch to him, cut on and fouled off the leg, and yeah, that one seems like it hurts a little bit. And now he's going to lean over for a minute. We'll see what happens here. Now Howard going to go over and talk to head coach Stephen English. And yeah, looks like it fouled off of the left leg. The one facing the pitcher, Brady Rice. Malachi Kranz in the on-deck circle. He also stands adjacent to the meeting between head coach Stephen English and O'Shea Howard. We'll see what happens next. O'Shea Howard now just trying to move it, and then it looks like he's going to be good to go. He's back to it. 0-1 is the count after, of course, he fouled it off of his leg. Shaker with catch-up to do. They're down by 2 now. Now here's the 0-1 from Brady Rice. This one cut on line in the left. Is that going to get down fair? Indeed it will. O'Shea Howard rounds first. He's going a second, and this should be a stand-up double for O'Shea Howard, the first hit for the Red Raiders in this ball game. That's going to bring up Malachi Kranz in a big RBI spot. Let's see what he can do. Number 20 on the back of that jersey. And today's actually over at third base, which is not the typical occurrence for Malachi Kranz, but I talked to assistant coach Joe Welsh before this game, and he said this is just what happens when you have 3 good middle infielders playing good baseball. And so they had to have one guy over there at third base if you want all 3 of them to play, and they said, let's put in Kranz in that position. So here he is, the 9 guy in the 9-man batting order. Let's see what he can do with a new bat in hand as well. Here's the kick and the pitch. This one cut on, fouled over to that near side of where your camera lies. Kranz not satisfied with the swing. Not sure if you saw that on the facial expression there, but wasn't exactly satisfied. Now he digs back in, taps the tip of the bat on home plate. A bit of a more upright batting stance than you see from a lot on the Shakerites team. That one taken upstairs for ball 1. 1-1 the count, 1 away with 1 man on. He's over at second in the form of O'Shea Howard. RBI opportunity for number 20, Malachi Kranz. Kranz entering into today with a batting average of 400. Here's the kick and the pitch, cut on, missed. Went down low for that one for that strike number 2. Kranz in his 18 plate appearances, he's actually walked 8 times, so he's really able to work a count if you get to that position. But when you're up against Brady Rice, it is that much more difficult. Here's the 1-2, upstairs, 2-2. And that's another thing that he talked about as well. Not exactly a terrified batter when you're with 2 strikes, and having that patience at this high school level is very important. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're evened up in the count with 1 away. And now we're going to get time called by the batter. He's going to take a big swing as he steps out of the batter's box. Kranz with 4 hits, 3 singles, and a double in those 10 at-bats. This one in tight for ball 3. And there we go, working the count again. Malachi Kranz, have yourself an at-bat. And it feels like he has over and over again in those 10 at-bats. Seems like each of them is just a battle. So here we go. The payoff pitch with 1 away and a runner in scoring position. Here it comes. Upstairs, ball 4. Good walk from Malachi Kranz. So that makes 19 plate appearances, 9 walks for Malachi Kranz. And that's just an odd ratio that you don't see too often. But it just shows the patience he has at the plate. So that's going to bring in the left fielder in today's game, Cole Klein. Back to the top of the order we go, number 3. Orange bat in hand. He's a lefty, keep in mind, in a big RBI spot. Showing bunt, here we go. Oh, that one up high. Looks like we got a double bunt in the catcher. Ooh, an odd look for him there. He was thinking of going to third. He hesitated. He looked off. Was thinking about going to second. Same kind of thing. So, no throw was made from the catcher, Connor Adams. And now it's O'Shea Howard over at third, and it's Malachi Kranz off of second now. Each taking some healthy leads off of their respective bases. Cole Klein with a 1-0 count. Here, pitch comes, cut on and missed at a pitch upstairs. Good opportunity for Shaker to tie up this ball game at 2-0, but it's going to require some patience at the plate. You got to get a pitch in your zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, 2 men on. Here we come, and that one off the mark. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Cole Klein, 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, along with the man in the on-deck circle, Quentin Garnett. Rice with 35 pitches. Here comes the 36th of his outing. That one off the mark once again. 3 balls, 1 strike. Maybe getting a little bit rattled. Here you don't want to walk the bases loaded. However, if you need to, you have that space open over at first. It's not like the empty space is over at third or at second. It's at first, so that'll also move a force at any base. Here it comes, upstairs, ball 4. So 2 straight walks issued by Rice. And now it looks like we're going to get a moment taken by Connor Adams coming out from behind home plate to meet with his pitcher. Quentin Garnett is going to be the next man up. He's 0 for 1 on the day, struck out his first time up, but he's batting .361. And he's gotten a hit in each of his last 5 games. One game, actually, against Menor, he went 4 for 4, and that was only 4 games ago. The game before that, also against Menor, Shaker was 2 outs away from being perfect gamed. And yes, I did use that in past tense. This one fouled back over into the green grass behind us. But it was Nick Square, the pitcher for Menor. And yeah, 2 outs away from pitching a perfect game against Shaker, and Quentin Garnett said no thank you. Sent one right up the middle between second baseman and shortstop. And that was the one hit of the ball game for Shaker. This one, just about that same kind of location. There's out number 1. The throw on the first and a big double play. All by the shortstop, Udis. And that's just an unfortunate situation if you're Quentin Garnett. Bases were loaded with 1 away, but the double play gets them out of the jam. So 2-0 remains your score after the top of the 3rd. Casey Robinson back to the mound. And we'll see what happens next. That last inning on the bump, he let 2 come across, both of which were earned. So far, also Brunswick, 6 hits through the first 2 innings. He's just got to slow that down and really get used to the pitches and the new strike zone, as mentioned by actually Quentin Garnett's dad off of the camera. It's a very odd strike zone, but it's consistent. It's large, and so if you are Casey Robinson, you just got to use that to your advantage. We're going to step aside for just a moment here and take a break. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum with the call. Casey Robinson back to the mound. So far has let 2 come across. This first pitch fouled over to the right side for strike 1. Casey Robinson, as mentioned, entering into today with a 3.9 ERA. It would raise if the game ended here. However, we're not even through 3 innings, so you got to hold your horses if that's what you're thinking. Here's the pitch, upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Casey Robinson, I guess maybe still trying to find that strike zone, that odd strike zone from the man in blue behind the home plate. This one grounded over to Malachi Krenz. He can't scoop it up. It's right under the glove. That's going to go for a leadoff single after escaping under the glove. So, first man on in the form of Bogan. Now he's 2 for 2 on the day. And whether or not Casey Robinson is able to work out of the jams. You don't want to get in the jams in the first place. But here we go. Already one man on. This one sent into left center. That's more than likely going to get down, and indeed it is. All the way to the track. Will Tagan sending this one in, holding the lead runner off of third. The throw going to get away from O'Shea Howard. However, he's able to recover. The runners stay put at second and third. So now a really rough position if you're Robinson. If you're, honestly, head coach Stephen English, do you issue the free pass here and walk the new batter in the form of Morgan? But it doesn't look like he's going to. 2-0 your score. Here's the first pitch to him, in there for strike one. Robinson now up to 50 pitches already. Only threw 6 outs. Morgan 0 for 1 on the day. And now Casey Robinson takes a moment. Steps back onto the mound. Here's the 0-1 offering. In there. 1-1 the count. Casey Robinson has so far issued 19 hits. So yes, he does allow for hits to happen, but this is already one less hit than the most hits he's allowed in a game. He's allowed 8 in one game. That was that last game he pitched. This one grounded over to O'Shea Howard. Here's the throw on the first. So 1 run for 1 out is what Brunswick will receive. 3-0 will turn to your score. And so now, Casey Robinson has a runner over at third. That's the only runner on, with 1 away. The batter now is Rushner. And that first pitch in there for strike number 1. Casey Robinson, as mentioned, he's allowed 7 hits in this one, which is second most of any of his outings so far. And yeah, he's only got 7 outs. That's the concerning part. He's had 3 hit performances, and that was against Francis Parker in that first game where he pitched 5 innings. That one in there for strike 2. And then 3 hits were given up, but he only pitched 1 inning in that one game against North Royalton. Here's the throw across the diamond from Malachi Kranz for out number 2. Good play that time by number 2-0. So if Shaker can escape out of this with only 1 run given up, I'm pretty sure they'd be grateful. Had 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Now a runner on third with 2 outs. This one in tight. Ball 1. Connor Adams, the batter, 1 for 1 on the day. He doubled his first time up, which is pretty good for a catcher. Here's the next one. This one crushed into left center. We'll see if this one gets down, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Will Tagan making the running grab over to his right. Cole Klein and him almost collided. Now they're going to give a little high five to each other, an embrace, if you will, after almost colliding. Up against the fence, the warning track really is where that play was made, but good defensive effort by Will Tagan, keeping this one a 3-0 game. And so, Shaker really needing to figure out Brady Rice, and they need to quickly. Due up for Shaker is going to be Will Tagan, Will Berglund, and C.J. Landrum. 3 straight power guys. Let's see what they can do in a 3-0 deficit when we come back. Brady Rice coming back out in the powder blue jersey. So 3 straight power guys due up for Shaker Heights. It's going to be Will Tagan, Will Berglund, and C.J. Landrum. Tagan enters in batting right, the commit to Washington University in St. Louis for baseball. And hopefully with this at-bat, maybe you can see why. Let's see. Will Tagan 0 for 1 so far. He got a fly out into center his first time up. 3-0 your score. First pitch from Brady Rice in a new inning is off the mark for ball 1. Will Tagan taking powerful swings outside of the right-handed hitter's box, but now he's going to step back in, scraping the dirt under his foot. Now he digs in with his back foot. And now this one should be getting down unless, oh, what a play by the shortstop. What a grab. Thought that one had a little more oomph on it. Perhaps the depth perception wasn't my best right there. But however, the shortstop, Udis, had to make the quick reaction, making the grab over to his left, our right. And that's already out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out. Next pitch to Will Berglund, in there for strike 1. Rice only to 42 pitches now. Of the first 42 pitches, it's 27 strikes. So he's come after these pitchers well. Let's see if he can continue. There, a big swing and miss from Berglund. Strike number 2. You definitely don't want to let Brady Rice get that momentum back. In the last inning with bases loaded and 1 out, after that double play, you're giving Rice some more confidence. That one down low. But you just want to get into his head a little bit more, especially with this part of the order in Tagan, Berglund, and Landrum. When you know you can hit the ball far, it's really your time to shine. Maybe play the long ball a little bit here. This one popped up. It's going to get its way into shallow center. Center fielder under it, and that grab is made by Brown. So, 2 up, 2 down as we begin the top of the 4th. C.J. Landrum now digging in. Landrum, his first time up, he did strike out. And actually 4 of the first 5 guys in the order, in their first time up, they did strike out. We'll see what happens here. 2 away, no one on for Landrum. Here's the kick, the offering. This one fouled up and over for strike 1. Nemo Crosby exiting the dugout. More than likely going to be the man to track that down, or not. Makes the motion over to the Brunswick guy, who's going to get it himself. Why not? It's their home territory. Let them get it. Here it comes. Fouled off. This one right into the netting behind home plate and above the backstop. So now already an 0-2 count. You don't want to strike out twice here if you're Landrum. Here's the 0-2, 2 away, down low. Good thing Landrum didn't cut at that one. That one was a very, very low one, barely made its way to home plate. Now it looks like we're going to get the catcher saying something, or maybe the umpire, or actually the umpire and the catcher both make their way to the pitcher. However, it's the catcher sticking with him. The umpire just delivering the game ball. Brunswick here today, as mentioned, in their powder blue tops and the white pants, symbolizing the home team. However, typically their actual school colors is not that powder blue. It's more of a royal blue. Like, if you can see the catcher in his gear, that's more so the blue of the Blue Devils. It's like that Duke kind of color, if you know your college. Here's the kick of the offering, the 0-2, fouled over once again. So, again, we'll get another foul and another strike. 1-2, actually that count. Landrum, the big man, looking for a big swing here to try and shift some momentum over. Here's another, down low, ball 2. Landrum entering in with a 240 average. He's got 6 hits, each of which are singles in his 25 at-bats. This one just popped over right in front of the pitcher. Landrum not the fastest of the bunch. That throw is made on the first for out number 3, and so still Shaker with only 1 hit and 2 walks, and in total 3 base runners coming in that 3rd inning. But we're halfway through this one. Brunswick up by 3 in a 3-0 affair. Casey Robinson back out to the hill. Let's see if he can keep this score where it is. Answers soon to come for all your questions when we come back. So Casey Robinson's still on the bump here for inning number 4. He's the lefty, and he's really, again, the number 1 guy in the pitching rotation for Shaker. That first one in there, a bit of a hesitant call from the umpire, but we get it. There's strike 1. Casey Robinson's so far pitching 60 now. That one actually going to run in and get him on pitch 61. So through 61, 41 being strikes. He has hit 1. He's walked none, but he's allowed 7 hits, and that's really been the deciding factor so far. Shaker, in their hits, they've only had 1. Casey Robinson, the lefty. Here's the pitch. This one popped foul over to the right side on what was an attempted bunt. Robinson, the ace of the pitching rotation for Shaker. Tyler Zach up there as well. We'll be seeing Zach tomorrow, I do believe, in that home game against Brunswick. This one fouled over to the right side once again, so now 2 strikes, and now you can't really bunt it again, or else that's strike 3. Carbone, the batter. He's 1 for 1. With 1 man on, Hubble. This one lined in the left. That's going to get down a base hit. It's going to be a single. Holding off is the lead runner at second, so Hubble at second. Carbone over at first. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. So Casey Robinson trying to avoid a 1-4 record. Entering into today, he's 1-3. He got the victory against Francis Parker in San Diego, but in Ohio, yet to get a victory. He has the loss against Hudson, North Royalton, and Menor. Here's another bunt attempt. Casey Robinson going to handle this one cleanly. The throw on to O'Shea Howard, covering, and it's dropped. And so the runner from third going to make his way home. The throw above the head of Quentin Garnett, and now it's going to be runners at the corners in a 4-0 game. Still nobody out. We'll see how soon we go to relief. Casey Robinson already up to 65 pitches now for Shaker. And now it's going to be Udis, the batter. He's done really well at shortstop. Got a double play when Brunswick needed it most. Bases loaded. That first pitch was upstairs to him. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Udis. Brown off of first, Carbone off of third. Here's the pitch. That, just missing off the mark. Looked like it was outside off the batter for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Here's Here's the kick, the pitch. This one popped up, and this should be easily handled by whoever wants to take it. This one, the third baseman, Malachi Kranz, getting under it for out number 1. Took a minute, but Shaker finally getting that out. But as we were talking about it, Casey Robinson, he's 1 for 3 on the mound, but he really is the number 1 guy for Shaker. That one in there, strike 1. But the thing is, when you are the number 1 guy, you're going up against the number 1 guy on the other side as well. And that's when you come across Brady Rice for Brunswick and come across as tough of a game as this has been for Robinson. That next pitch was upstairs. We're evened up at 1-1 with 1 away and 2 guys on, each at the corners. This one fouled over to the left side for strike 2. Nemo Crosby exiting out of the dugout to go ahead and swipe that one up out of the dirt, delivering it back to the umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the current batter, number 17, Bogan. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Here's the pitch upstairs, ball 2. That's the other thing. Casey Robinson's pitch count has really been running. 72 pitches now for him. Here's the 73rd of the outing. And this is going to be a tapper back to Casey Robinson. The throw home, and that's going to be an out at home plate, avoiding run number 5. And that was just the smart move to make. So now it will be runners at first and second, but it's better than runners at second in a run coming across. So now 2 away. Casey Robinson looking to get out of it. He's just needing the offensive run support behind him. That's what's really struggled whenever Casey Robinson is out on the mound. And that's just not his fault. It's really just the team behind him that needs to step up when he is on the bump. Casey Robinson hasn't been a batter himself in a long time. Here, Casey Robinson going to reset on the mound. Now he's back. 2-0 the count. Through 75 pitches, he's got 49 strikeouts, almost hitting that 2/3 mark. This one popped up, and that is a good probable out for Nate Landever or O'Shea Howard. Howard awkwardly making the grab out there in shallow right field for out number 3. So another run does come across. The only scoreless inning that has been was inning number 1. 2 came across in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and that brings us to where we are now. 4-0 your score off of 8 hits from Brunswick and only 1 hit from Shaker. So they're huddling up outside of their dugout, knowing that they need to get this run support and they need to get it going, as now we have entered in to inning number 5. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Von Ullum here with the call. Shaker out here in their own game looking to get win number 5. However, right now it's not looking too probable as they're down by 4 runs against this stud pitcher of the Devils. He's committed to Walsh University for a reason, and this is why. You can see the speed, these late swings from Shaker, and this is just really why you put Brady Rice in again against Shaker, who's now a rival, as both schools are now GCC opponents. Brady Rice pitched really well against Shaker last year. Let's just throw him in again in the Brunswick home game. Tomorrow, both teams squaring off once again. It's going to be in Shaker territory. That time I will, of course, be there for the call once again back at home. Later in the week, we're going to see Cleveland Heights, another GCC rival of Shaker. That's on Wednesday. Mayfield, the opponent, on Thursday. And then on Friday, Shaker hitting the road and going to Pennsylvania, a suburb of Pittsburgh, in the form of Allegheny. So thank you very much for joining us. It's going to be Nate Landever, the first guy due up for Shaker. Let's see what the sophomore can get done for the Red Raiders. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum with the call. Nate Landever, number 21, the sophomore. Let's see what he can do here. He's 0 for 1 after lining one in the left, though being caught by that left fielder in the shallow outfield. Brady Rice still the pitcher. Here's the kick in the pitch. This one fouled back into the netting. It'll be Landever, Moore, and Howard, the three guys due up. That's the 6, 7, and 8 guys, if you're wondering. None of which actually did strike out. Only one getting a hit, that one very in tight, for a ball. That's going to be ball number 1. Only one of those guys got a hit, and it was O'Shea Howard, who doubled his first time up. So we'll see. The first two guys in front of him can get something going. And if O'Shea Howard can do so again and go 2 for 2, maybe drive in a run. 4-0 is your score. Brunswick leading. That one fouled off again, making it a 1-2 count with nobody out as we're just getting set here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This one fouled off once again. So Nemo Crosby already out there catching that foul ball previously. Now he's just going to grab another one while he's out there. We're going to do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shaker looking for only their second hit so far. They've actually got more errors than they do hits. There, a swing and a miss. That's going to be strikeout number 5. And it's actually going to be strikeout victim number 5. As it's so far been Klein, Garnett, Berglund, Landrum, and now add Landever to the list. Brett Moore is going to be the right-handed hitter next up. He's 0 for 1 so far. He pitched a beauty of a game against Twinsburg when he got that opportunity last week. Here's the kick in the pitch. That one in there for strike number 1. In pitching against Twinsburg, he went 4 innings plus 2 outs. And he actually only gave up 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned. This one fouled over the left side. That's going to be strike 2. He only walked 3 as well. He struck out 3. It was really just a very good performance. It was a pitcher's duel once again, which we had seen in the game previously as well against Gilmore. It's really just been a lot of pitching duels last week. Cole Klein, we'll see if he gets some more starts as well. That one in tight and low for a ball. But Cole Klein, really the MVP of the week, as he only gave up 1 run in that game on 3 hits. Here's the pitch. In tight, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out after the Nate Landever strikeout. Rice now up to 60 pitches. We'll see how much longer he does go. He might be able to go the complete game, but we'll see if they want to use him later in the week. This one's sent through third baseman and the shortstop, and Brett Moore gets the 1-out single as he rounds first, but is content there. As in a 2-2 count, he gets the knock, and we'll see what O'Shea Howard can do. His first time up, he doubled. Unfortunately, he couldn't make his way home. Let's see if Howard can do so again. Maybe get it all the way out there to drive home Brett Moore. We'll see. Malachi Kranz is the man in the on-deck circle, more than likely going to get his shot unless this is grounded into a double play. Here's the pitch. First one upstairs. That hit only Shaker's second. The thing with Brunswick is they have had no defensive errors as well. This season, they've had 13 games, 13 errors. So, obviously, do that math. 1 error per game on average. Here's the kick, the pitch. Ooh, just missing. Ball 2. 2-0 the count to number 2, O'Shea Howard. Howard has been batting really well. So have, once again, all of these infielders. Malachi Kranz due up. That's the other guy I'm mentioning, along with Brett Moore over at first. This one cut on and missed. O'Shea Howard with a bit of an awkward swing, but now he's going to work back. In that first at-bat of his, he fouled it off of his front leg, that left leg facing Brady Rice. And so we did have about a minute and a half of stoppage as he just had to reset himself. He met with head coach Stephen English, and then he got back into the batter's box, and then, heck, he hit a double. This one fouled off once again. Out of play, it'll make it 2-2. This is where Brett Moore was. Hopefully, O'Shea Howard can get that same kind of success. Let's see. Brett Moore leading off of first. Morgan ready for a pickoff attempt. We'll see if we get one. Here's the kick, the pitch. This one fouled off once more. Why not? 2-2 the count. Battling so far, protecting well. Howard gets the signal from head coach Stephen English. So far, what we've been led to understand is that signs have really been an issue for Shaker. They just really have to pick up on the signs, get confident in what every sign is. There's a swing and miss. So one double and one strikeout for O'Shea Howard. Unfortunately, the strikeout comes at a rough time. Malachi Kranz now is the man up to the plate. First time he walked, and at this point, it feels like we can say, of course he did. Again, 19 plate appearances, 9 walks. And in his 10 at-bats, 4 hits, 3 singles, and a double. This pitch, looked a bit off. However, gonna give it to him. Brady Rice gets the strike. 2 outs, 1 man on in the form of Brett Moore at first. Malachi Kranz 0 for 0 after the walk. Let's see what he can do here. This one in there for strike 2. Brett Moore trying to steal. Will he get in there safely? He will not. Another good throw from another catcher. We've seen it a lot this year from the Shaker squad, but this time it's Connor Adams throwing it over to second and catching Brett Moore stealing. So there is out number 3, and that's going to bring Casey Robinson to the mound once again. He hasn't pitched a scoreless inning since the first. He gave up 2 in the second and 1 in the third and fourth. 4-0 is now your score. Let's see if he can keep that where it is. We'll be right back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from Brunswick, Ohio. And we're halfway through the 5th inning. So far, Shaker's still scoreless. Brunswick, not that same kind of story. 8 hits have brought them 4 runs. No defensive errors for them, but Shaker's had 2. I believe we got a pinch hitter here, or actually, I don't believe we do. Morgan is the batter. Here's the first pitch to him in there for strike 1. Casey Robinson just needs to settle this one down and let the offense work behind him. Right now, he's just got to keep this a 4-0 score, and we know he can keep it a 4-0 score. He is the number 1 guy in the rotation for a reason. There's strike 2 and another good pitch location. 0-2 the count. He's going after Morgan quickly in a new AB. Let's see what happens next. This one cut on. It's going to make its tapper back to Casey Robinson. The throw! And it'll get away from Will Berglund. It's still in front of him, so it's not going to be enough for the runner to advance to second. But there is another base runner for Brunswick. It's going to be ruled as error number 3, surprisingly enough. Now number 21 is the new batter. First pitch lobbed in there for strike 1. And he's pitching well. It just feels like the batters are just knowing what's coming next. Here's the pitch off the mark. 1 ball, 1 strike to the batter number 21. I believe this is the pinch hitter. Next pitch to him. This one popped up. This is going to be something for Quentin Garnett to take. And he'll make the grab leaping. Not exactly sure what he needed to leap for. It's going to come down to you anyway. But Garnett makes the grab. There's out number 1. We have the runner over at first still in Morgan, making that infield single or the reaching on an error happen. And now double play opportunity for Shaker if they want to get that momentum back, and they could really use that momentum here. Kranz would be the next man due up when we come back in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch off the mark. 2 balls, no strikes. Casey Robinson dueling number 27, Connor Adams. Adams 1 for 2 with a double. Here's the pitch. In there. Yeah, there we go. Casey Robinson. Last time Adams was up, I believe he grounded out or flew out. He didn't strike out, I can tell you that much. That one down low. 3 balls, 1 strike to Adams. Adams, the catcher for this team in blue. Actually, the Blue Devils motto, let's go Big Blue. Here's the pitch. This one grounded over to Malachi Kranz. Can he scoop it up on the hop? He cannot, nor can Brett Moore. And that's going to reach once again. It's going to be 2 runners on with 1 away. Let's see how they scored this one. It's going to be Adams over at first, Morgan at second now. And they're going to rule that one as error number 4. That's the issue. Shaker has done really well with their errors over the last 4 victories and 4 games. But today, just not that same kind of case. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to play this one moving forward. Again, they've tried that one in there once again. 2 strikes now on the batter, number 16. They tried 3 middle infielders on the infield, 1 over at third. This one lined right over the glove of Malachi Kranz. That's going to get down and score 1 more than likely. Cole Klein sending this one home, and oh my goodness. And it didn't, but here's the throw on the second. That's going to be out number 2. Good awareness from Quentin Garnett to make that throw on the second. They do score a run, but they get out number 2. Good heads-up defensive effort that time from Garnett. It's going to get that second out, and it feels like a much-needed second out now as this one's going to get through once again. They are attacking that space between Kranz and Moore and bring home run number 6. My goodness. Just continue to fit it right in between them. And now it looks like we'll get a mound visit. Eli Stolfus going to pitch in relief, it seems, as he's going to trail head coach Stephen English out of the dugout, and that should be the case. Casey Robinson hands the rock to English. English hands the rock to Stolfus. So, Robinson gave up 6. We'll hit you with all those stats when we come back. Thank you very much for joining us. It's going to be Eli Stolfus now, the man in relief, and he's pitched well in relief. Let's see if he can keep that streak going forward. Thank you for joining. We'll be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum with the call 30 miles out in Brunswick, Ohio. So Eli Stolfus, another sophomore, on the bump for Shaker here. He's pitched in relief a great deal of late for the Red Raiders, and he's done so effectively. There you go, already coming after the first guy with strike number one. He's so far pitched 8 innings plus an out and winning one win, that one against Normandy, because he pitched in those extra innings. He got the victory on the mound there. His record technically just 1-0. 2 outs, 0-1 the count. Here's the kick and the pitch from the right-handed dealer. This one popped foul, and will that get out of play? Looks like it will. Ooh, almost hit the guy at the scorer's table, controlling the scoreboard here today. Luckily, it didn't get him. But the stats for Stolfus, 9 hits, only 5 earned runs, 6 have been given up. He's walked 4, but struck out 8, and that's a good ratio for a high school pitcher, especially one coming in relief as suddenly as Eli Stolfus has. Here's the kick, the offering on an 0-2, upstairs. But yeah, Stolfus over the last week has pitched in 4 innings, or excuse me, 5 innings in total. Here's the pitch, 3 of which were in relief. That one going to actually run in and get the batter Brown on the shoulder, so he's going to take his spot over at first, and now you just can't get yourself rattled after that one. You pitched a good at-bat. It just got away from you. So right now, you got to slow it down, and you just need to go and play it like you did the last guy. You got to come and you got to attack this batter number 9. 2 men on, 1 in scoring position. Udis, the batter who's 1 for 3 on the day. Stolfus with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. An awkward swing from Udis. Looks like he just got fooled on that one. Now Stolfus, number 14, leans forward, gets the signal from the catcher, checks the runner at second, takes a double take, and now here's the pitch. And now, oh my goodness. He got him with another awkward swing, that time very much down low, got him fishing. Two on, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a 6-run score. Stolfus shaking off the first 2 signals, now the 3, and now he nods after the 4th go. We'll see what he says. That one down low and away. Tried to get him to chase that something nasty down low. Didn't pull the trigger. Udis, the batter. Brown, the runner at first. Carbone, the runner, off of second. Stolfus checks the runner at first, now over at second. Looks over his shoulder once. That's all he needs. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. Stolfus comes in. He hits one guy on the shoulder, but the next guy, he comes back and he strikes out Udis, who's 1 for 3 on the day, now 1 for 4. And Eli Stolfus back to where he picked up last time. There we go. So we should more than likely be seeing him for the final 2 innings. But unfortunately for Shaker, they're going to be facing Brady Rice of Brunswick moving forward as well. And he has already pitched 5 innings of only 2-hit baseball, striking out 6. We'll see if he picks up where he left off. Maybe fatigue can finally set in, but regardless, Malachi Kranz is going to be the first man due up in the new inning. Behind him are going to be Cole Klein and Quentin Garnett. We'll tell you more about them when we come back for the top of the 6th inning. And here's Malachi Kranz, the junior batting right. First pitch in there for strike one. Kranz not exactly satisfied with that one. He asks the umpire, where did that one miss exactly? The umpire going to tell him. Malachi Kranz actually telling me a story the other day that one time an umpire just got a little bit aggravated with him in a summer ball game of his where Malachi Kranz was just constantly asking, where was that one missing? And the umpire just going, you know where that one missed. That one, a hot shot off the bat, fouled over to the Red Raider dugout side. You saw that facial expression right to me in that camera. You know, that was that was almost dangerous. Luckily, no rough reaction has been made over there to the dugout. I believe everyone's okay. Here's the 1-2. Cut on and missed. He went fishing for that one, and that is going to be a drop third strike. He applies the tag for out number one of the top of the sixth. Shaker Baseball playing this game today. They're going to be playing all 5 weekdays this week. Cole Klein now the next guy due up. Behind him, Quentin Garnett. We'll see if each of them can get some more hits. They just got to figure out Brady Rice. Here's the pitch down low. The umpire even getting out of the way of that one. However, a good scoop to keep it in front of Connor Adams. The umpire and the catcher exchanging smiles as the umpire was really quite flinchy to get out of the way of that one. Can't exactly blame him, though. When a baseball is coming at you as fast as Brady Rice has been throwing it, I mean, my goodness. Big swing and miss that time from Klein. It's going to make it a 1-1 count. We're evened up. There's one away here in the top of the sixth inning. Only 2 hits for Shaker. Cole Klein looking to bring another. Can this one drop into shallow center? It cannot. Udis is under it for out number 2 of the sixth. Shaker with only 4 more outs to get 6 runs back. And it's not exactly likely that that will happen, but we've seen Shaker do crazier things. Again, they came back from that 7-0 deficit against Normandy on Saturday to win it in extra innings 8-7. Again, not exactly something you expect to see all the time. This one grounded over to the third baseman. Throw across the diamond, and that's out number 3. Good throw by the third baseman, Carbone. And so 3 up, 3 down in the top of the sixth. And Eli Stolfus back to the mound for another inning. It very well might be his last unless Shaker is able to muster up 6 in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back. My name is Von Ullum, here with the call of the game and the call of up next, the bottom of the 6th. Eli Stolfus back on the mound. He's mustered up 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. However, the damage was already done as Casey Robinson had left the game. 2 runs came across in that last inning. This one popped into right center. Getting under there is Will Tagan making the grab for a routine out number 1. Eli Stolfus, 1 pitch, 1 out. Already back to his efficient being on the hill. Stolfus with his 10th pitch on its way to O'Malley. This one lined. Now it's going to get down for sure. It's going to get down right between Tagan and the right fielder, Nate Landever. This one, cut off. If it hadn't been cut off, might have gotten there. However, if it hadn't been cut off, also might not have gotten there. O'Shea Howard, the man to bring it in and flip it over to Brett Moore. However, the slide had already been made by the batter O'Malley, so 2 pitches, 1 out, 1 man on, in scoring position at second. So Stolfus just needing to slow it down, just get that next out. It's now 11 hits for Brunswick. Only 2 have been mustered up for Shaker. So it's really been a one-sided affair all game. Here's the kick, the pitch, in there. Good strike number 1 from Eli Stolfus, needing a rebound after that 1-out double hit by O'Malley. O'Malley now 2 for 4 on the day. Morgan, however, this batter, 0 for 3. Let's see if he can get his first. Eli Stolfus has that job to not let it happen. Here's the kick, the pitch. Down low, ball 1. 1-1 the count, 1 away, 1 on. 6-0 is your score. Stolfus trying to keep it that way. Shaker's offense has 3 more outs to crawl back from at least a 6-run deficit. That pitch very much in tight for ball 2. Stolfus enters in with the ERA of now 4.2, which, considering it was at 8.4 after his appearance against North Royalton, well, that's much, much better. This one, taken for a ball. It's going to get away from Garnett. No throw over to third, just off the glove, and it'll make its way into the backstop for ball 3. Never something you like to see, especially since O'Malley was able to advance just 90 more feet forward, and now he's 90 feet away from making his way home. Stolfus with a 3-1 offering. This one fouled back. So that'll work us to a full count. And a count down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Shaker has not pitched a scoreless inning since the first. Here's the kick. The offering rainbowed its way right over the strike zone for ball 4. So it'll be runners at the corners with 1 away. Double play is in order. Let's see if they get the chance to make it happen. A Shaker double play hasn't happened in what feels like a while. But we'll see. Rosher, the batter. First pickoff attempt will bring in the runner safely head first. Rosher is 0 for 2 so far. Here's first pitch to him much upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Stolfus wearing number 14. That was his 5th walk right there. Only 4 entering into today. Kranz not able to make the play, digging it out of the dirt. That's going to be run number 7 coming across. We'll see how they mark that one. Might be another error ruled to Shaker. We'll see. But all we know is that now it's a 7-0 score. And now runners are at first and at second. And it looks like they are going to rule that as error number 5. That'll put 2 on the third baseman, Kranz. The other errors from Moore, Howard, and Berglund. So each of the infielders each have an error. Not a winning recipe. 0-1 the count after that one was fouled back. 1 out, still a double play in order. Here's the pitch. This one once again fouled back, this time over to the right side. The sun's starting to go down a little bit more. The heat's starting to leave the field. Brunswick, not a turf field, just a regular, good old-fashioned baseball field. And now we're going to get time called by the batter. He's going to take a moment. Number 27 on the back of the powder blue jersey. He's Connor Adams, who's 1 for 3 with a double. He's got to protect here. 2 strikes, no balls to him. Here's the pitch, and ooh, almost came in and got him. Just missed, however, down low, just by the ankles. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Runners at first and second take their lead. This one grounded. Can Brett Moore get a double play? Here's the flip on to second. The throw on to first. And he's safe over at first. Just beating it out was the runner Adams. And so it's going to be runners at the corners with now 2 away. So a much desired out if you're Eli Stolfus. Again, you want to give your offense behind you the smallest deficit you can. He did let 1 come across. That 1 was not earned. Here's the pitch. A new AB. This one lined into center. Right to Will Tagan. Moves just a little bit in front of him, just a couple steps. Making the grab for out number 3. And now let's see what's next for Shaker. 3 outs remaining for them on offense. 7 runs to come back from. And it's going to be a tough task. Let's see what they have in them. When we come back, Shaker needs to answer. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum with the call from Brunswick, Ohio. Will Tagan is going to be the first man due up for Shaker here in what is the final inning of regulation, unless they are able to get 7 runs in the 7th inning. It's a tough task, but we've seen crazier in the good old game of baseball. So let's see. First pitch to Will Tagan in there, right down Main Street, strike number 1. The thing about today is, Only 2 runs were earned from Brunswick. 5, well, they weren't. That one just off the mark for ball 1. Eli Stolfus's 1 run, not earned. And this is really due to the fact that 5 errors have come defensively from Shaker, 2 from Kranz, and 3 1 from each of the other infielders. This one lined in the left, that one crushed, and that one's going to get down for a double. Will Tagan rounding first. Hit number 3 for Shaker as Tagan is in with a stand-up double, giving Will Berglund a chance for the first RBI for Shaker on the day. Will Tagan was 0 for 2, now 1 for 3 with the extra base hit. Of the 3 hits, 2 have been doubles. We got that one from O'Shea Howard earlier. And then we got that 1 single from Brett Moore earlier. Will Berglund digs in. He's the right-handed hitter as well. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch in tight for ball 1. Brady Rice still on the bump for Brunswick, looking to go a full game if he can, and why not? He's only at 81 pitches. Here's the kick, the offering, cut on, missed. 1-1 now the count. Brunswick with a public school, a lot of people more than likely trying out for this baseball program. Over 2,000 students attend that Brunswick High School. Used to be more, but then, of course, COVID struck. Here's the pitch. This one fouled over to the right side, over near the sun to that right side. Also, Brunswick, one of the 7 original schools to form that Greater Cleveland Conference in 2015, along with Shaker Heights. Shaker Heights, yes, they did just join back in this year, but they were one of those original members. Here's the next pitch, 1-2. This one sent into left field. That's got a chance. It's foul. Oh, no. Well, Berglund with almost a great chance, if that one had just gone fair, to absolutely crush that one. And that one had every bit of distance. It just needed to end up fair. Had the distance, just not the direction. Here's another 1-2 as we do it again. Cut on, missed, and that just stinks. If you're Will Berglund, after almost getting a big long shot like that, but just going foul and then striking out on a pitch down low. It's going to be out number 1. CJ Landrum is going to be the next guy. With the lack of hits for Shaker, I feel like it would make sense if we mentioned that this day in history, that's pretty rare. This one down low on CJ Landrum, it's ball 1. But on this day in history, 1898, Ted Breitenstein and of the Cincinnati Reds, and then Jay Hughes of the Orioles, they both pitched no-hitters on this same exact day in 1898. Just not exactly a typical occurrence. The next time that happened was all the way out in 1953, over 50 years later, 55 to be exact. That one also down low, 2-0 the count. Another interesting, or actually just about all these on this day in baseball history ones are interesting. We'll give you the next one after this pitch. Here's the offering. Down low, 3-0 now to CJ Landrum. He's working it well in that lovely black jersey. And speaking of uniforms, in 1915, the Yankees actually introduced what is now their iconic pinstripe look on, April 22nd, 1915. We'll hit you with that other one with 1970 on this day in history in just a moment here. Will Tagan taking that hefty lead off of second. Here's the pitch in tight. Oh, my goodness. He's going to rule that one strike number 1. 3-1 goes our count. C.J. Landrum has struck out once, trying to avoid it again. Again, 3-1 the count. Only one guy's gone down on strikes twice, and that's Berglund. This one in tight. That's going to be ball 4, 100%. And Landrum going to take the spot over at first. So 2 men on with 1 out. Nate Landever is going to be the next man up. He got that winning hit against Normandy to get that walk-off win. Nemo Crosby going to be the pinch runner. C.J. Landrum heads back to the dugout. He did his job perfectly. He's the base run, or excuse me, he got the runner on. And now we got a new runner on, but just in his spot. As I was mentioning, in 1970, and it's a pretty good one considering the amount of strikeouts that this guy has had in the form of 8. In 1970, in the name of strikeouts, Tom Seaver, one of the best in the business all time, struck out 19 in one game. There's strike 1 on Nate Landever. But the interesting piece is the last 10 of those strikeouts were consecutive, each in a row, one after another. And no one has ever bested that after Tom Seaver did it in 1970. People have tied it in the 21st century. No one had done it since then, and no one did it in the 1900s ever again. That one fouled over, so it's going to bring 2 strikes to Nate Landever. Trying to avoid a double play for sure. Shaker just trying to get their first run on the board and avoid a shutout against Brady Rice. Crosby off of first, Tagan off of second. Here's the pitch. Cut on, missed. And there's another K for Brady Rice. K number 9. That's going to bring the shortstop, Brett Moore, up to the dish. He's the last hope for Shaker. Can't make any mistakes now. Taken off of second, Crosby off of first. Shaker just trying to avoid a shutout. Here's the pitch, upstairs, and oh, it got the umpire upstairs. And that's why you have them wear protective stuff. And we'll get the thumbs up, as he's all right. So that will advance both of the base runners 1 forward. So Tagan's on third. Now we got Crosby over at second. Brett Moore with an RBI opportunity, but the issue, 2 outs. He's the last hope. Brett Moore with the bat above his right shoulder. Here's the pitch. Down, low, ball 2. Next man due up would be O'Shea Howard if he gets the chance. We'll see. But Brett Moore with the opportunity to make it a 5-run ball game. Not exactly too great if you're a Shaker fan to hear that news, but 5 is better than 7. That one in there, strike 1. Shaker after this one will move, or will head back home to take on Brunswick once again. We should be seeing Tyler Zach as the starting pitcher in that game, at least. That's what he told me and what has been inferred. Brett Moore lines this one over the head of the second baseman. Nemo Crosby rounding third as well. And will he beat it? Yes, he will. Head first slide brings in run number 2. And so Shaker may just be a bit too late, but they'll bring in 2 runs. And now the score is 7-2, and Brett Moore stands on first. O'Shea Howard is the next man up. And let's see what he's got in him. Now it looks as though we're going to have a mound visit. If you take him out now, it feels like that'd be very surprising. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Just seems very not needed at this point in the ball game. very unnecessary to take him out, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. So we're going to get a big man out of the bullpen. He's jogging his way out and to the mound, and so he's going to get his warm-up pitches. So we're actually going to step back. Only one more out is needed for the Blue Devils. We'll see if they can get it. Shaker need 5 more runs to keep this game alive moving forward. We'll see. 2 outs. 2 men just came in to score. Brett Moore on first. We'll step aside as this man gets his warm-up pitches. We'll be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum on behalf of Shaker Heights Athletics. And now O'Shea Howard is the next man due up. Brady Rice just exited the ball game after giving up that 2 RBI knock. It's going to be Brooks Relic, the new pitcher, and this one sent right in between shortstop and third. And so let's see, does Shaker have a little bit of a rally in him? They're down to their final out. It's going to bring Malachi Kranz up to the plate, and now it's just you. And we've heard it a great many times from the Shaker dugout throughout the season, refuse to be that last out. And you're going to need that mentality right now if you're Malachi Krenz or any of the next guys that may have a shot. It's an RBI opportunity. You got a man at first and you got a man at second. Howard on first, Moore at second. Relic with 1 pitch, 1 base knock. And let's see what Kranz can do. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Here's the kick, the pitch, and that one upstairs. A comeback here would be brutal if you're the Devils, but again, it's still quite unlikely with still 2 outs in the final inning. Here's the 1-0. Oh, came in, almost got him. Had to duck out of the way of that one, and that he did. Relic, a much bigger guy, not much velocity behind it, as we saw from Rice. However, he's just a big dude. So now it's a 2-0. After almost being hit, Kranz might wait to get a strike to him, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. There's strike 1. Shaker's dugout keeping vocal. It's what you like to see. Runner on first, runner on second to Kranz. 2-1 the count with 2 away in the final inning. Here's the pitch. This one cut on, fouled over to the left side. And now Shaker down to their final strike. They just need to slow it down. Assistant coach Joe Welsh over there along first base, cheering on Kranz. Now he'll step back in, bat raised above his shoulder. Number 25 against number 20. And now time is granted as we get it called. Not exactly sure who called it. Might have been the batter. But now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 7-2. The score with 2 guys on. A lot of 2s. Here's this pitch, and that was a very lucky contact right there. Surprised he pulled the trigger there. But as long as he made the contact, he's protecting, and he's protecting well. But yeah, that was. He's lucky to get that one foul over to the left side. So we're going to do it again at 2-2. The kick, the offering. And oh! What a rough call. That one looked very much in tight. However, the call is strike 3, and 2 men are left on. Shaker loses this one by 5. So Shaker loses this one by 5 runs. It was a good moment there at the end as Shaker got the 2 runs to come across, taking Brady Rice out of the game, but Brady Rice continues to pitch well against this Shaker squad. Hopefully this is going to be the last time Brady Rice pitches against this Shaker squad. He did last year, he did this year, that same kind of outcome, getting the win on the mound. And today, Shaker, their losing streak does end at 4, but they're looking to build up that winning streak once again as they will take on Brunswick tomorrow at home. Along with they're facing Heights on Wednesday, Mayfield on Thursday, and then that Pennsylvania team, North Allegheny, on Friday. But for now, Shaker loses this one, only able to get 5 hits. The real hitter is that they had 5 errors, which is really unfortunate considering they worked those errors down a lot more over the past couple games. But now the error number back up to 5, 2 from Kranz and 3, 1 from each of the other infielders. So it's not a winning recipe when each of your infielders are getting an error, and so we saw that here today. But also, it was Brunswick just really figuring out Casey Robinson from the beginning. They were able to get a run in each of the innings except for inning number 1. They got 11 hits in total. However, the thing is, 2 runs were earned, and that was it for Brunswick. So they just really need to clean up the defensive mistakes, and then Shaker will be once again in tip-top shape. So Shaker moves on tomorrow to face Brunswick at home. Tyler Zach should be on the mound in that game. We'll tell you more about it tomorrow when the time comes. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here with the call from lovely Brunswick, Ohio. We'll see you tomorrow back at home base at Shaker Heights High School. Thanks for watching.